Sometimes what I wondered was that when I gave my life to Jesus in 2004, after reading the book Heaven is So Real, I experienced being born again and started experiencing God's guidance. And He trained me to leave all the worldly entertainments, like movies and dramas and the worldly music and violent computer games. And also, I began to experience the Holy Spirit in me. So, whenever He is pleased with me, He would give peaceful sensation. It's very pleasant and very soft like velvet. But when He is displeased with me, my chest would start hurting inside. So that's how I know I was sealed by the Holy Spirit. So what I wondered sometimes was that why these things don't happen to other people. So there are so many churches in the world, and then there are so many pastors, but I never hear anybody says like Holy Spirit showing them, like I told you, that they were saved and they are sealed. And I hear pastors talking about watching movies and dramas all the time. So when I gave my life to Jesus, I didn't do much. So I just prayed to God on my knees that I would live for Him. So that's how I simply prayed to Him to give Him my life. And all these things happened to me. So I wondered why these things don't happen to all the pastors and so many believers in the world. So one day I was thinking about that, and I felt that God was telling me about that. So what He was telling me was that when the pastors dedicate themselves to the ministry, they decide to dedicate themselves to the local ministries because they don't want to go as a missionary somewhere far and somewhere that might be dangerous. So that's why they go into the local ministries and they get hired by the local churches. So when they dedicate themselves to the service for God, they don't fully decide to follow Jesus. So if you want to be born again, you have to decide to follow Jesus wherever He leads and tells you to go. And you have to decide whatever He tells you to do. So because of that, majority of the pastors are not fully dedicated to follow Jesus. So that's what's happening in churches. So in churches, the pastors who are not born again and who are not following Jesus, they are teaching the congregation. And the congregation, they just believe Jesus and they don't decide to follow Jesus. So that's the reality of the churches in the world. So if you happen to be a pastor and are watching this video, I would like you to think about it. So if you serve in a beautiful church buildings with so many people in congregation, what does that all mean? If you're not following Jesus and you're not born again and saved to enter the kingdom. So those beautiful big buildings and the congregation, it means nothing. And your congregation is being led astray from Jesus. So if you're a pastor or a member of the church, and if you're not experiencing God's guidance away from those worldly entertainments, then you have to realize you have to fully dedicate yourself to Jesus, to follow Him fully. Then you will begin experiencing God's training to cleanse yourselves from all those satanic and worldly entertainments and begin experiencing holiness in your life. And you will be fully following Jesus and you will experience Holy Spirit living in you, testifying that you are born again and testifying that you are sealed and you belong to God. I wish you blessings from